this year, and they're not going to be staying long. There he is, first road start, though the Buckeyes have won 25 straight season openers, and that is why Texas is 1.5-point dogs against the defending champ, C.J. Donaldson Jr. Listen, Ohio State doesn't rebuild. They just reload, lost their top two backs to playing Sundays. Donaldson punches it in. Ohio State, though, only 77 yards rushing. Third quarter, 4th and goal for the Longhorns, down 7-0. Arch and Burnt Orange didn't get the same result. Texas had 4 drives end in turnover on downs, 2 red zone opportunities, scoreless in both. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Arch with time, finding, connecting with Jermaine Matthews Jr. Only thing is he plays for the other team. Texas still down 7-0. It was a bad first half for Arch and those expectations going into this game. Meanwhile, Sayin faking the handoff to Carnell Tate. 40-yard score. So nice he caught it twice. 2 catches on that catch, but 2 catches in the game. 49 yards in the score. Jeremiah Smith, 6 catches, 43 yards. Got to have this. 4th and 3. Arch Manning. You can't put it in a better place to Parker Livingstone. Randy, did it hit him in a bad spot?
Oh, right in the hand.
Right in both of the hands.
Both of the hands.
Yeah. Guess who loves it? New defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. Not his first time scheming up against the Manning during his time as DC there with the Patriots in New England. It's Manning again, 3rd and 10, now down 14-0, 3.5 to go. This time, Livingstone squeezes it. Upon further review, confirmed it was a catch.
Ooh, okay.
Confirmed, hey, got to make it close.
All right.
Got to make week 1 close. Texas, though, down 14-7. Texas ball, 2nd and 10, 2 to go. Uh-oh. Here comes Arch, 17-30, 170 yards, most of which came in the second half. Most of that coming in this fourth quarter, 3rd and 5. Oh, man, got to have it. Ryan Wingo can't make up the catch. So that brings up 4th down, 4th and 5. Arch, very strong, completes it to Andrees. No. Stopped just short of the marker. C.J. Hicks, he could smell and taste blood. Ohio State, your defending champs, improved to 5-0 all-time at home against SEC teams. They take care of Arch and the top team in the land, 14-7. Here's Coach Sark after the loss.
They made Arch work. I thought at halftime, Arch having a chance to really sit and look at the tape and understand some of the coverages they were playing, I think that helped him into the second half and play. And so there's, we definitely can lean into that.
The story of the game was the defense. Matt, I thought, put a good game plan together. The coaches put a good game plan together, but the grittiness of our guys running around. There's a lot we can build on here, a lot we have to improve on. The team you see right now will not even be close to the team you see halfway through the season or at the end of the year.
Yeah, Texas actually outgained Ohio State offensively. It's the Ohio State defense, though, that dominated Arch, taking the pressure off Julian Sayin. Manning completed 57% of his passes, that 170 yards. Through that score, did have the interception. Most of those yards came in to catch up the middle. He had 26 in the first half, yardage-wise. Sayin threw for 126 in his own right, including that 40-yard touchdown that you saw. We took care of the ball, though. No interceptions.
Night game in Death Valley is Clemson, tangled with LSU, 9th-ranked Tigers of the Bayou coming in, taking on the 4th-ranked Tigers of South Carolina. No, it's cool because they ride in a bus in uniform, then they run down a hill.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. It really is.
It looks dangerous.
It is dangerous. It's not dangerous. Also tough to tackle this man as Kate Klubnik found Bryant Wesco Jr. and then Adam Randall. Randall the scandal. The Ranchise.
Come on, the Rando.
He's in. He's in. Clemson takes a 10-3 lead. Clemson looking for his first win against the SEC since the start of last season. Ball. We are so back. That'll help. That's Ronan Hannafin forcing a fumble as the LSU drive stalls. But Garrett Nussmeier will come correct in the second half. Down 10-3. The Heisman hopeful dumping it off. That's Aaron Anderson. And Anderson just going to matriculate 39 yards down the center of the field. 6 receptions, 99 yards for him, and then it's Caden Durham. Whereas Clemson really struggled running the football. They only had 31 rushing yards as a team. LSU, 31 carries for 108 yards and that touchdown. All square at 10. Here comes Nussmeier. Looking for Berrien Brown. Battlestar Galactica. Identity theft is not a joke. Hold on. You know what else isn't a joke? That looked like a touchdown. And it wasn't.
I have that as 6.
What?
Really?
Brian Kelly, not happy. They said that pass was incomplete. Would have been a touchdown for Texas at Ohio State. But Kelly was looking for just his second career win over an AP Top 5 team, the other being against Clemson when he was at Notre Dame. Okay, still tied at 10, fourth quarter. Nussmeier to Trey'Dez Green. Big body, big grab. Trey'Dez not going to do it.
Trey'Dez. Touchdowns.
Wendy's? What? Okay, 230 passing yards and a touchdown for Nussmeier. The lead is 17-10. And here comes Clemson. Cade Klubnik, man. We're going to open up the club. Glow stick, sandstorm. The club. Let's go. And the club, we all family in the club. That was to Tyler Brown, and Klubnik has a chance here, 4th and 4, but he got flushed. Ooh. He got chased, and that is it. What do these Tigers dream of? How about a season-opening win for the first time under Brian Kelly? 70-10 is the final. It was a historic loss for Clemson. They become the 7th top 5 team over the last 50 seasons to lose a season opener at home, and the first since Michigan's loss to App State in 2007. Their 10 points scored is however the second fewest of the group. It's their fewest scored in a home game since 2010.
So those are those 2 top 10 teams that took an L. This was the third. Bama, 8th in the country, taking on an unranked Florida State team. Tommy Castellano said they don't got Nick. He can't save him. He wasn't the only one.
Florida State is my school. How the hell would you pick against them? Florida State upsets Alabama. Yeah.
With his picks, Corso still has his fastball. We will explain in just a moment. Castellano spent the last 2 seasons up in Chestnut Hill for Boston College. Didn't really change the color palette, just changed the team. Squirrel white, got that kid. Squirrel! And then Castellanos will do it himself. 16 carries, 78 yards, and that touchdown. It goes along with his 9 of 14 through the air, 152 yards. Florida State up 7-0. Now it's 7-all. Micah Danzy. And Durant will make him Danzy. That's so good.
No, that works.
Florida State up 17-7. We're just workshopping.
I like it.
All right, learning on the fly. Third quarter, Castellanos. Jalen Lucas fast. Bama can't catch him. They eventually do. Kalen DeBoer on the verge of dropping 4 games to unranked teams in his first 14 games as head coach of the Tide. For perspective, Nick Saban had 4 losses against unranked teams in 17 years.
Oh, man.
Florida State up 24-7. Let's go to the fourth quarter. 2nd and 4. Gavin Sawchuk. He'll do it himself and then gets the push. That breaks the plane. Florida State up 31-17, 230 rush yards, 4 rushing scores. Last season, they didn't have any 200-yard rushing games. Last chance for the Tide, down 2 scores, 4th and 10. Ty Simpson, your new starter, comes up that short. Comes up that short to give the Tide new life. And that is how an unranked Florida State team takes care of business against
I saw that
Bama.
kid.
Yeah, he was the meme. He was the meme. Florida State rushes the field. And you know what? You should feel good, Tallahassee, 31-17. This is the aforementioned Lee Corso picks. In his final appearance on game day, and what a day it was, he picked the Noles, LSU, and Ohio State to win. They all did. In addition to that, Coach Corso played or coached for 6 schools in his career. All 6 of those schools won on Saturday.
That was a defensive performance for Ohio State. Roman Harbor with us. Hey, the lasting impression for Matt Patricia and that OSU defense, what is it that's making its impression on you this morning?
Randy, good morning. For me, it really, you got to give Matt Patricia so much credit. He didn't do just a good job, but a great job in designing different type of pressures, delayed blitzes, and a lot of post-snap movement from the secondary that really confused Arch Manning and his Texas offense all day long. And then you got to even give credit where they may have exposed a weakness for Texas and this offensive line because they could not block these guys all day long. That may be a weakness for Texas that we all now have seen. But I got to be honest, 85% of the other teams out there are not even going to be able to expose Texas the way they did because they're just not as talented as Ohio State. So give Ohio State a lot of credit for the coaching, the way they went out there and executed and won the game. They're on their terms. I love it by Matt Patricia and that Ohio State defense.
Maybe the debut of a new Manning face, seeing Arch coming to the sidelines frustrated the way that he was. Meanwhile, it's time for Roman Forum. What's the message that you're sending today, Rome?
You know that the SEC. Oh, I like that crown. I like that segue.
It's not AI or digital at all.
very SEC, very mid weekend, opening weekend by the SEC. You look at Texas, tough road loss. I can't get over that.
I can't.
Tough road loss in the horseshoe yesterday, going against a really good Ohio State team. You give Ohio State credit for winning that game. Alabama, I got to be honest with you. I can't have no words to say for Alabama right now. I had to cut it off because it was messing up my golf game yesterday when I was playing. I literally started playing bad watching the game, so I cut it off. So I'm done with that one right now. But LSU really came to bat yesterday, and the rest of the teams too. That LSU looked strong and better than I anticipated them to. And they look like a true SEC contender and possibly a playoff team and championship caliber team. Like, you can't deny that. That was a great win on the road for LSU and Brian Kelly and that team.
Yeah, listen, meanwhile, Alabama, Roman, earmuffs, can we digitize some earmuffs around that crown? Yeah. Suffering its first loss in a season opener since 2001 against UCLA. Long time. Rome, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I was there for that, too. So anyway, thank you. Once again.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rome.
Bye, guys.
He probably would have appreciated putting that crown just over his eyes. The marquee Week 1 matchup, they're going to do so with Micah Parsons. Jared Goff, not pleased. Parsons going to wear number 1 in Green Bay, hope to help the Packers get back to the Super Bowl for the first time in 15 years. Already rocking the Green Bay color palette. I mentioned J-Bone in the building. I'm not lying. He's right there. Micah Parsons in the crib. He's ready to go. What is the game plan for him ahead of Week 1? They're probably going to keep it simple and just say, hey, go get the quarterback.
Easy enough, right? Yeah, Micah Parsons wants to play. So Monday, the Packers are going to take the practice field. He will probably be out there in some capacity.
Yep.
I think they're going to try to limit his reps. They're going to be really smart with him. See what he can handle coming off that back injury. But that back injury is feeling a little bit better now.
Sure.
That money is in the bank account. And they'll go from there. Now, I do know that Parsons, when he was in Dallas, despite his hold in, not practicing, he was doing two-a-days on his own. He was running, he was lifting, he was a part of all the meetings. The Cowboys coaches felt legitimately that he was getting himself ready to play. So it's not like he's just been sitting around for a month. He is ready to go. They want to get him out there. They just, it could be on a bit of a pitch count.
Sure. Top 2-3 position in the NFL is the guy who can get after the quarterback. Everybody knows the most important position is the guy under center. Still some questions ahead of Week 1. Let's start in Indy. Daniel Jones gets the Week 1 nod. But you're saying we should still keep an eye out for Anthony Richardson.
I'm still watching the Anthony Richardson situation because his agent, Derek Jackson, has spoken out to our Stephen Holder saying that he's frustrated and that they haven't requested a trade, but, are there some trust issues here about how he's being developed? So the Colts have said firmly, we're not trading Richardson. But at some point, depending on how the season goes, do they look at him closer to the trade deadline?
Yeah.
Could there be some suitors out there? I don't think the market would be overly robust because the play wasn't great last year.
Sure.
But the ceiling is still really high if he could go to a place that can develop him. Although I talked to somebody with the Colts who said, look, he's probably going to have to play at some point, whether Jones gets injured or whether the offense has struggled. They might be back out there. So they do want to keep him, develop him. It's a question of whether he still wants to be there.
Sure. And he's still so young in that rookie deal. I mean, there was a list on Twitter just a couple of days ago. He's younger than more than half of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. So you talk about the development and the lack thereof in Indy. Okay, so maybe some reason for frustration. That is Jeremy Fowler joining us this morning on SportsCenter. Thanks, J-Bone.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the college guys because you got to crawl before you ball. That's what J-Bone's
plus 650. Still August. Then it's a sizable drop-off to Georgia's Gunnar Stockton, South Carolina's Lenora Sellers, and then Klubnik, all at 14-1. As for Arch Manning, he's all the way down to 18-1. That is tied for 8th shortest odds.
Heisman Update is brought to you by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
It's always good to get some time with our football analyst, Sam Acho, after the first full Saturday of the college football season. Time for an edition of Sam I Am. A lot of storylines in Week 1. So I say, Sam, I am the biggest takeaway from Saturday, and you say what?
Be careful who you crown. We all thought that Arch Manning was going to have this outstanding debut performance, as in debut as the full-time starter, but he struggled early and often. The first throw of the game, Arch Manning had a receiver wide open, and he skipped it in the ground. You might think, okay, he's going to get himself a little bit settled. But all throughout the game, whether it was the first throw or you're about to see the last throw of the game, Arch Manning was off. So I understand it's college. We're still trying to understand who's who, but this was a surprising effort from Texas and their quarterback. Understandably, Ohio State has one of the best defenses in college football, but Arch has to improve if Texas wants a chance to be in a national championship.
And that was just Saturday. We have two big games today as well, highlighted by Notre Dame and Miami. That's tonight on ABC. So, Sam, I am the winner of this game. Who might that be?
I like Notre Dame in this matchup, and the reason why is that their defense is dominant and their running game is reliable. Notre Dame is led by two defensive studs, and one of them is named Leonard Moore, who was a freshman last year. Christian Gray is another one. They're both corners. This team loves picking the ball off, intercepting the ball. But also, it's not just that. They lean on their running game. Jeremiah Love is likely going to be the first running back drafted in the NFL, and then they have another running back by the name of Shedeur Price. So if they lean on the running game, they have a rookie quarterback. They don't have to worry about this freshman, this rookie, this new starter, They can lean on their reliable sources, defense and run game.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, this afternoon in the ATL, it's number 13 South Carolina taking on Virginia Tech. So, Sam, I am the one player we need to watch in this game. Who is that?
Number 16 on offense for South Carolina with the Rec Specs. His name is Lenore Sellers, and he is a dominant football player. He's going to be in the Heisman Trophy conversation, very likely. Be careful who you crown. But based off of last season, this guy is elite. The level in which he runs the ball when he decides to run it, the level in which he throws the ball as well, makes him nearly impossible to tackle and to bring down. Last year, the South Carolina team won 6 straight games to end the season. They're right on the cusp of the college football playoff, and if they would have made it, no one would have wanted to see them. So watch number 16 for South